I may not always be with you, but when we're far apart, remember you will be with me right inside my heart. The true mystery of the world is the visible, not the invisible. Now this might disturb you, but I find I'm okay by myself, and I don't need you or your benevolence to make sense. Dead yesterdays and unborn tomorrows, why fret about it, if today be sweet? This work was strictly voluntary, but any animal who absented himself from it would have his rations reduced by half. None of us will ever accomplish anything excellent or commanding except when he listens to this whisper which is heard by him alone. Ability, experience, and books have solution for all the problems. Always try to be joyful and proactively benign to the people. By doing so every day, people have no control at all over my mood. Keberuntungan yang berlebihan selala min gundang dengki. Courage is feeling fear, not getting rid of fear. Knowing something is more important than fear and taking action in the face of fear. Life is like an onion. You peel it off one layer at a time, and sometimes you weep. Every story I create creates me. I write to create myself. We started off trying to set up a small anarchist community, but people wouldn't obey the rules. A man can't soar too high when he flies with his own wings. With faith, discipline, and selfless devotion to the duty, there is nothing worthwhile that you cannot achieve. You can't go back and make a new start, but you can start right now and make a brand new ending. Somebody once said if it's something a single book can explain, it's not worth having explained. Everything changes in my life, and the world stays the same. Notice the difference between being in control and needing control. Winning isn't everything, but wanting to win is. Except our own thoughts, there is nothing absolutely in our power. As long as you can use your hands, the world is your oyster. I promise you this, when I embraced my differences and stopped trying to fit in, I ended up where I belonged. Success is something you experience when you act accordingly. Success is not something you have, it's something you do. If you only shine light on your flaws, all your perfects will dim. We must be willing to let go of the life we plan so as to have the life that is waiting for us. For a day, just for one day, talk about that which disturbs no one and bring some peace into your beautiful eyes. Time deals gently only with those who take it gently. The fundamental things in a man are not the things he explains, but rather the things he forgets to explain. Our moral economy went bankrupt long before our financial one. When you say I and my too much, you lose the capacity to understand the we and our. To live is so startling it leaves little time for anything else. There's no greater show on earth than observing human nature. Tried living in the real world instead of a shell, but I was bored before I even began. There is no saint without a past, no sinner without a future. You can't always win in life, but you can always have a mind that every loss is not a defeat. But please remember, this is only a work of fiction. The truth, as always, will be far stranger. Anything can be done, as long as you truly believe it. The best fiction is far more true than any journalism. The only real battle in life is between hanging on and letting go. A life fueled by passions is like riding on the back of a dragon. The road of excess leads to the palace of wisdom. Life is nothing without a little chaos to make it interesting. Forgive yourself before you die, then forgive others. Sometimes when hardships knock, it's just life. Do not take it personal. Whether you think you're right or you think you're wrong, you're right. If you think in pictures, right? If you think in words, paint. Some days are like this, and the only way to get through them is to remember that they are only one day and that every day ends. The nourishment of body is food, while the nourishment of the soul is feeding others. If stars needed the sky's permission to shine, the universe would be a very dark place. Almost anyone can be an author. The business is to collect money and fame from this state of being. We can accept and embrace our past as part of the path that shaped who we are now. Do your own thing on your own terms and get what you came here for. 10 years from now, make sure you can say that you chose your life, you didn't settle for it. The truth is usually left for us to hunt and gather independently if we are so inclined. I need you to be happy. I need one of us to be happy. Don't part with your illusions. When they are gone, you may still exist, but you have ceased to live. Writing is the spectrum through which the chaos of life can be seen, studied, and understood. No one is less than. No one is more. We are all exactly the same at the core. Yesterday is not ours to recover, but tomorrow is ours to win or lose. When you came, you cried, and everybody smiled with joy. When you go, smile and let the world cry for you. Lower your expectations, but never lower your standards. Be the light you seek so desperately in your life and chase away that darkness. Life is just a short period of time in which you are alive. Procrastination makes easy things hard and hard things harder. Truth often sacrificed for the sake of stability and peace. Perception was easily accomplished, required little effort, and it never had to stand the test of reality. Perspective is born in the rearview mirror of life. My past has not defined me, destroyed me, deterred me, or defeated me. It has only strengthened me. Fairy tales are more than true, not because they tell us that dragons exist, but because they tell us that dragons can be beaten. You don't believe things because they make your life better. You believe them because they're true. Swirl into joy today by sharing your caring with the world. Be a pillar of positivity. The act of taking the first step is what separates the winners from the losers. If you can't change your fate, change your attitude. Rousseau identified reason as the disease for which it pretended to be the cure. Michael, there's nothing here to fear. Lucifer, well, there's always the truth. When you make a choice, you change the future. You don't have to make something that people call art. Living is an artistic activity. There is an art to getting through the day. It is the road you take that decides your destiny and not your destiny that decides the road you take. Fear is the polio of the soul which prevents our walking by faith. When something ought to be true, then it proves to be a very powerful truth. Healthy citizens are the greatest asset any country can have. Life is a bittersweet journey, my friend, a bittersweet journey. I want someone whose heart is big enough to hold me. We have now sunk to a depth at which restatement of the obvious is the first duty of intelligent men. Make your lives a masterpiece. You only get one canvas. Don't step backward toward nothing. Step forward towards something. Better awkward steps forward than coward steps backward. Most of us have the good or bad fortune of seeing our lives fall apart so slowly we barely notice. Life is what happens to us while we are making other plans. Don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion. It never failed to amaze me how the most ordinary day could be catapulted into the extraordinary in the blink of an eye. The reason birds can fly, and we can, is simply because they have perfect faith, for to have faith is to have wings. The way to make your dreams come true is to start believing in them. Accept yourself, flaws, quirks, talents, secret thoughts, all of it, and experience true liberation. When I tell the truth, it is not for the sake of convincing those who do not know it, but for the sake of defending those that do. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. I assess the power of a will by how much resistance, pain, torture it endures and knows how to turn to its advantage. All progress takes place outside of your comfort zone. Someone said to me once that a cigarette at the right moment is better than all the ideals in the world. Though we tremble before uncertain future, may we meet illness, death, and adversity with strength. May we dance in the face of our fears. You can't strangle stress to death. You can try, but all that effort only increases its ferocity until it shatters your ability to contain it.